Stevens underneath. Stevens hanging off glass. Stevens in double figures now with 10. Here's Mitchell. Over to Howard, looking high, low, pass.
In the world of professional women's basketball, few narratives have captivated fans and analysts quite like the evolving relationship between Clark and Paige Bueckers, two generational talents whose paths have long been intertwined. From their high school dominance and collegiate legacies to their rising WNBA careers. While the league thrives on rivalries, the one between Clark and Bueckers is less about animosity and more about mutual admiration, mutual motivation, and the celebration of excellence. WNBA fans were eagerly anticipating another chapter in this compelling rivalry during the matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings. But fate had different plans. Clark, nursing a groin injury that's kept her sidelined, couldn't take the court, depriving fans of a direct showdown between these two standout rookies. Yet the game still carried significance, not just for the 88-78 victory by the Fever, led by Kelsey Mitchell's 23-point performance in Clark's absence, but for the continuing story of two players who represent the future of women's basketball. Despite her injury, Clark made the trip to the American Airlines Center, where she remained engaged with the game, her teammates, and her fans. She was seen smiling, signing autographs, and posing for pictures, embodying the professionalism and connection with supporters that have made her a fan favorite nationwide. On the other side, Paige Bueckers continued her stellar rookie campaign with a commanding 22-point performance, though not without a brief injury scare of her own, which thankfully proved to be minor. As their individual seasons unfold, each with its own unique challenges, triumphs, and turning points, the affection and admiration they hold for one another continues to be a central, heartening theme. In a pre-game interview with EN Network, Clark was asked about her thoughts on Bueckers, and her words were full of respect and sincerity. "It's really good for the game," she said, referring to their friendly rivalry, "and at the same time, it gets people excited about the future of this league. For me, you love going up against really great competitors. And for myself, I've always been a fan of hers and her game and the way she's always played and been able to carry herself. I just think she's smooth in everything that she does. She can shoot it." This wasn't simply a diplomatic sentiment. It reflected a long-standing mutual respect that began years ago, when both were being heralded as prodigies in the 2020 high school recruiting class. While they chose different college paths, Clark becoming the face of Iowa basketball and Bueckers shining at UConn, their trajectories often intersected in headlines, fan debates, and social media posts. Both earned national attention for their skills, leadership, and ability to elevate their teams. They became household names before ever donning a professional jersey, and when the WNBA draft finally came calling, both were rightfully selected first overall in their respective years, Clark in 2025 and Bueckers a year later, her entry delayed by injuries that had plagued her during her collegiate career. That delay only heightened the anticipation of their WNBA arrivals. And now, with both finally in the league, fans are witnessing the flowering of two unique yet parallel careers. Bueckers, who has battled adversity since her days at UConn, seems to be hitting her stride, showcasing not just her scoring ability but her vision, poise, and tenacity. Her transition to the pro level has been seamless, her court IQ matching, her graceful shooting stroke, and versatile offensive toolkit. Meanwhile, Clark's inaugural WNBA season, though temporarily paused due to injury, has already been marked by record-breaking performances, deep three-pointers, and a level of hype that few rookies, male or female, have ever experienced. Yet neither player appears weighed down by the expectations. If anything, they use each other as fuel. The narrative around them, often framed in terms of comparison or competition, has actually served as a mutual motivator. Each time one shines, the other is watching, learning, supporting, and preparing to respond. And while the media sometimes leans into sensationalism, pitting women athletes against each other for clicks and engagement, Clark and Bueckers have consistently defied that trope. Instead of hostility, there's healthy competitiveness. Instead of shade, there's light. Their exchanges, both verbal and on the court, are marked by class and sportsmanship, setting a standard for future generations of athletes. This rivalry is not a war, it's a celebration of women's excellence. And it's especially meaningful in the WNBA, a league that is rapidly growing in visibility and cultural relevance. Having two megastars rise simultaneously doesn't divide the fan base, it multiplies it. It draws in young girls dreaming of their own professional futures. It excites longtime fans of the sport, And it reminds everyone watching that women's basketball is rich with talent, narrative, and passion. Their similarities are many. Both are deadly scorers, skilled facilitators, and fierce competitors. But their differences are just as important. Clark plays with an aggressive, high-octane style, often pulling up from deep and electrifying crowds. With her bold playmaking, Bueckers is more surgical. Her game defined by balance, grace, and elite decision-making. Together, they form a yin and yang that's fascinating to watch unfold. They also reflect different archetypes of leadership and perseverance. Clark as the fiery warrior, fighting through injuries and intense scrutiny. Bueckers as the resilient tactician, rebounding from injuries with determination and composure. Their friendship off the court, though not often spotlighted, adds another layer to their story. Mutual admiration has evolved into mutual respect, and mutual respect into mutual legacy building. They know their names will be linked for decades. Just as Bird and Taurasi once warned, rather than reject that inevitability, they've leaned into it, embracing the power they hold together to uplift the sport. That Clark could offer such glowing praise for Bueckers even while sideline speaks volumes not only about her maturity, but about the sisterhood developing in this new era of the WNBA. And it's clear that Bueckers feels the same. In her own interviews, Paige has been just as gracious when speaking about Caitlin. She's called Clark a game changer, praising her shooting range, basketball IQ, and how she's brought new fans into the league. There's no bitterness between them, no undercurrent of jealousy, just a shared awareness that they are rewriting what's possible for women in sport, together. As both players continue their WNBA journeys, navigating the pressures of pro life, handling the spotlight, inspiring millions, their stories remain forever intertwined, whether they're facing off on the court or supporting each other from the sidelines. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers are building a legacy far greater than themselves. They're not just rivals, they're revolutionaries. And the respect they show one another might just be the most powerful message of all.
Counter moves, but I can tell you right now,
Fly jets. I don't fly jets. No, I don't.
you fly commercial a lot.
I do. No, this
Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's electrifying rookie sensation and the face of a WNBA revolution, will once again be absent from the hardwood as she's officially ruled out for Thursday's clash against the Phoenix Mercury, marking her 9th consecutive game missed due to a lingering right groin injury. For fans who've eagerly awaited her return, this update adds another layer of frustration and concern, especially as the Fever continue their up-and-down battle for a secure playoff spot. Clark's absence isn't just a statistical void, it's a seismic shift in the team's identity, rhythm, and visibility. Ever since she burst into the WNBA with unprecedented hype following her historic collegiate career at Iowa, Caitlin has become more than just a player. She's a brand, a movement, a ratings magnet. So, each game she misses doesn't just impact box scores, it ripples through broadcast deals, fan turnout, and even jersey sales. What makes this stretch more unsettling is the lack of a firm timeline for her return, despite fans clinging to hope with every update. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White has remained cautious and grounded in her public comments. Caitlin's rehab and recovery are going well, White shared before Sunday's showdown against the Seattle Storm. But we're being very careful. We're not going to risk a setback just to rush her back on the floor. White's words echo a larger truth that's often overlooked in the media frenzy surrounding Clark. She's human, not a superhuman highlight reel. Not a marketing tool, but a young athlete adapting to a professional pace, while managing the physical toll of an intense rookie schedule. Behind the scenes, it's clear the Fever's medical and coaching staff are applying a long-term lens, and rightly so. Clark isn't just the present of this franchise, she's its future. There's no question she wants to be back out there, sinking logo threes and leading fast breaks. But returning prematurely could risk already sensitive groin injury, one that requires a meticulous, often frustratingly slow recovery process. This latest setback is part of a broader, concerning trend. Clark has now missed 18 regular season games due to 3 separate lower body injuries since her debut. That's nearly half the season, a staggering reality for any player, let alone one expected to carry the weight of a franchise and elevate an entire league. While most headlines only focus on the groin strain that's kept her sidelined recently, it's important to remember that Clark's rookie campaign has been physically grueling from the outset. Earlier in the season, she also dealt with quad tightness and ankle discomfort, signs that her body has been absorbing the shock of transitioning from NCAA stardom to WNBA reality. And yet, despite the physical setbacks, Caitlyn's impact off the court has never wavered. She continues to draw fans to arenas whether she's suited up or not. With Fever games regularly selling out or seeing major attendance spikes, her presence, at practice or on the bench, still draws camera crews and reporters. There's an energy around her that can't be fabricated. She's not just a player you watch, she's a player you feel. And when she's missing from the lineup, the void is unmistakable. Social media erupts with speculation every time a new update drops. Will she play? Will she travel with the team? Was she seen in a walking boot or without one? Every detail is scrutinized like a political press briefing. Coach White, for her part, has taken the diplomatic high road, reminding reporters and fans alike that there's a bigger picture at play. It's about staying the course, she said. We're being diligent with every step. We can't afford a setback. She'll be back when she's ready, not before. That patience is admirable, but it's also testing the resilience of the team and its supporters. The Indiana Fever, currently fighting to secure a mid-table playoff position, have shown flashes of brilliance without Clark, thanks to breakout performances from players like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Nolissa Smith. But their offensive creativity and spacing clearly suffer in her absence. Clark's ability to stretch the floor, dish out laser-like assists, and create her own shot has always been the X-factor in Indiana's system. Without her, the team often relies more heavily on post play and traditional pick-and-roll sets, which can become predictable against elite defenses. Her absence also impacts the players emotionally. Boston recently admitted in a post-game interview, "We all want Caitlyn back. She pushes us. She brings energy, but we're also learning how to win as a team without her, and that's valuable." It's that maturity, both in Boston's comments and in the team's evolving chemistry, that could pay dividends long-term. Still, the reality is harsh. Fans came to see Caitlyn Clark. Many bought season tickets just to witness her play live. Young girls wear her jersey in the stands, hoping she'll sign it. Sports networks schedule Fever games in prime slots because they know Caitlyn draws millions of viewers, so every game she misses is more than a footnote. It's a missed opportunity for the WNBA to showcase its brightest new star. The league is riding the biggest wave of popularity it's seen in decades, and Clark is at the center of it. Alongside Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, and other emerging stars, she's helping redefine what women's basketball looks like in America: faster, grittier, more